Howdy, everybody. I'm here in Uinta County, Utah. Actually, we're here sitting in the Uinta Basin, which is actually in the Ashley Valley. And in the background, you see the Buckskin Hills and Diamond Mountain. And where we actually are is called the Buckskin Recreation Complex, which is a Uinta County government recreation and entertainment complex. What happened was that when COVID came, of course, the CARES Act was passed by Congress and signed into law by President Trump. And Uinta County was given about $5 million for COVID relief funds. What happened then was that the county spent about $3.6 million helping local businesses. It spent $800,000 on some airport improvements, and there was about $500,000 left. The governor's Office of Management and Budget in Salt Lake City told the county that if they didn't spend the money by December 29th, they would lose the funds. And so the county decided to use the funds for economic revitalization and do some major improvements at the Buckskin Hill Recreation Complex. And one of the improvements that they did, really the main one, was they built a snow tubing hill, which you may be able to see in the background, and we're going to actually take a closer look at that. I'm here today with the director of the Buckskin Hills Recreation Complex.
Yeah.
Derek, is it Jaramillo?
Jaramillo. You gotta roll them R's.
Okay,
there,
I'm
Eric.
sorry.
Come on, you're from Texas.
You know,
bud.
yeah, I'm
You should
learning.
be able to roll them
I'm learning
R's.
Spanish, but obviously I haven't learned it well enough. But Derek is a native of Vernal, which is where we are.
Right.
He actually graduated from Vernal High School in 2000. Then went on a 2-year mission with the LDS Church in Chile.
Yeah, that's correct.
And then when you came back, you went to college at Brigham Young University, and then you went into the pipeline industry. Actually, you were a deputy sheriff, I think, for 2 years.
A deputy sheriff here locally for a little bit.
Right.
And then after that, I took a job with Anadarko that was actually
Right.
based out of the Woodlands.
Sure was. Yeah.
In your neck of the woods. And so,
Right. And then you worked, I think, with Anadarko until 2019, probably when they were taken over by Oxy.
Correct.
So you worked for Oxy for a couple of years as a well site manager.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2020, you were hired on to this cool job that you have.
It
Derek.
is. It's a very unique opportunity, and I
Yeah.
feel very blessed and fortunate to be here and work with the team that I do work
Well,
with.
and since it seems like it involves construction, maintenance, and also entertainment and recreation, I mean, it just seems like you're the perfect man for the job.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. There are a lot of hats that you have to wear, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of demographics, and there's a lot of different user groups that you have to work with.
Okay. Well, so tell us a little bit about, what is this Buckskin Hills complex, and how does it fit in with this community?
Okay. Yeah, very well. So Buckskin, don't quote me on this, but this is kind of what
Don't
it's
quote
been.
you, we're
Yeah,
filming
don't quote
it,
me on
okay?
this, but Buckskin, from what I've been told, is this Buckskin Hills area was kind of an area where traders would come and trade, and so that's kind of where it got its name. And as you can look at the topography, the terrain, what you're looking at is a kind of a bentonite clay, we call it.
Okay.
So it kind of has this yellow buckskin hue to it.
All right.
And it's very interesting dirt. We probably don't need to get into that and bore everybody, but
Well, we'll attract a lot of geologists in the audience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's very tricky stuff. Right now, we had a lot of rain and it's wet, and you can get stuck in this stuff in about an 1/8 inch of mud. It's just super slick, and it'll stick to everything.
Yeah.
It
So
dries out really
so
fast.
tell us about the complex.
So here's the complex, here at Buckskin Hills Rec Complex. To the north, as you look out there towards that old building, we've got the shooting range where we can shoot up to 1 mile. And so
And actually I've heard there's a rumor going around that the publisher of the Golden Hammer newspaper, Kelly Cox, has used that shooting range and is actually a big fan of it.
Oh, it's very nice range, actually.
Yeah.
And so yeah, those rumors are probably true.
Okay. All right.
On being recorded, but yeah. So the Buckskin Hills shooting range,
Okay.
it's roughly 1,300 acres, we'll call it, 12 to 1,300 acres.
Yeah.
You have the ability to shoot up to 1 mile. We've got
Wow.
a cowboy action range that's been put in there.
What is that?
Cowboy action shooting. It's kind of like old Western style shooting.
Oh,
I don't know
cool.
if you've been to Lagoon.
Oh, so you
yet.
actually have like duels out there?
Yeah, well, it's more like rustic saloon type stuff. You know, there's some buildings out there where they do silhouette shooting and things like that.
Oh, that's fun. Okay.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Okay. So what else is out here?
We're looking to well, as far as the shooting range goes, we're looking for there's a shotgun bay. There's also, we're looking at putting in a place where we can do archery shoots also.
Oh, really?
And so it's a great piece of property for those.
So now I've heard this complex is like one of the top motocross facilities in the world. Tell us a little bit about that.
So our motocross, if we were to pan the camera, it's out here to our west, and it's about 6,000 feet, about 30 feet wide.
Wow.
Of jumps and berms and motocross that people can come out and ride, and it's been deemed by a lot of people, a lot of users, that it's a fun track, but yet it's still safe, but it's very technical, and so we've had kids from ages of 6 to 45, and so, or whoever wants to come ride pretty much, and they've given us awesome reviews that it's just been a great place to ride. So.
Okay. And then now, don't you have a major event that's coming up just in the next couple of weeks here?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. So out here at the complex, we've got, call it 5.7, rounded up to 6 miles worth of mountain bike trail. And so the Utah High School Cycling League is a league here in Utah that they cater to those high school kids, from those that just are getting into it to your advanced riders. Yeah. And so we're looking to have roughly, call it 1,200 to 1,300 participants.
Wow. But
then you bring in grandmas and grandpas and friends and brothers and sisters, and so we'll probably have close to 3,000 or 4,000 people here.
And how will you house them all here?
So Uintah County has roughly 1,200 rooms.
You mean hotel rooms?
Hotel rooms, yep, hotel rooms, and there's some Airbnbs that are in town also, but call it 1,200 rooms here in Uintah County. And then also we've got 3 RV parks here on site.
You mean at the Buckskin complex?
Yep, here on site. We've got 3.
And you've got the hookups and everything ready to go.
There's 2 that are fully functional. One's kind of, we've got to get it up to speed, but the 2 are full functional RV parks that people can come and stay. This infield right here, if we were to pan the camera, they'll stay in, some will camp, dry camp, in their vans and tents, and so this whole parking lot will be full.
Can people do mountain biking here outside of an event?
Yes.
So this is open to the public all the time?
Yes and no. We do shut the gates at night just to avoid any vandalism or things of that nature, but yeah, during operating hours during the week, we're here in the morning 6:30 till we close 6:30 at night.
And do people need to sign in with you before they go?
As far as the mountain bike trail's concerned, no, but we do ask people as they do come in to check in with us, just so we know where people are at inside the complex, so we don't lock them in, or make sure that they're riding where they need to be.
What else do you have out here?
Well, we talked about tubing hill, we talked about motocross, we talked about mountain bike.
Don't you have like a drag racing complex
here?
Here?
So we're starting to push in our drag strip, and so it'll be an 1/8 mile actual timed racing distance. But then we will also, it'll be at a kind of a 1/4 mile run out once they can shut down their cars, and it'll be the only one in Utah as of right now.
That's really neat. One time I actually ran a marathon at Disney World, and we actually had to run on the racetrack, and I tried to do the marathon as a barefoot marathon, and at that racetrack is where I discovered that I needed to put shoes on.
Really? Very cool.
So
that's very cool.
We're about to finish this part of the interview, and what I wanted to just ask you is sort of, what is the future of the Buckskin Hills complex? Are you planning on adding some other recreation out here?
Yeah, I mean, the sky's the limit, really, as long as you have an imagination and have that hard work ethic and know how to run some equipment. We're looking to do a lot more things out here.
Well, name some. Tell us a few things.
Right now, right off the top of my head, we're looking at a side-by-side sand drag pit.
What in the world is that? Is that a torture method?
So down in southern Utah, it's a big deal just because they have a lot of that sand down there by Sound Hollow and St. George, Cedar City area. Side-by-side sand drags is kind of just what the name says, is you have the side-by-sides, put paddle tires on them, and
Huh.
it's kind of like the drag strip, but
Yeah.
you're just on sand with big paddle tires, and first one down to the bottom wins.
How long is the strip?
That strip will probably be close to, I don't know, 800 feet, maybe
Wow.
1,000.
Okay.
It just kind of depends on, we'll do some more R&D and figure out what we need, and then we'll fill that pit with sand. There's talk about trying to get a pump track, maybe even a pump track for the mountain bike community.
Yeah.
And a pump track's just a simple, kind of like the best way to describe it is like a BMX track, right? You got hills and valleys and things where they can ride. So.
Wow. Well, this sounds all very exciting. It sounds like you've just got a giant playground out here.
I do.
And we're going to take a short break, and then we're going to go somewhere, and maybe if you can explain to us a little bit more of the detail.
Yeah, you
Okay.
bet. My
All right.
pleasure.
All right. Thanks, Derek.
Eric.
We'll be right back.
Yep, you bet.